spot.
That truck jumping sideways broke his momentum just enough to allow him to lose that spot to Busher. As well. Oh, look, he's sideways.
Completely sideways into the fence and now into the wall goes the 3 of Austin Dillon. That will bring out our first caution.
Guys, that's our point leader. We talked about before the race.
Get a flat tire.
He was so
Flat tire,
loose
guys.
through 1 and 2. We made comments about that. Take another look.
Here he is coming off turn 4. He's going to get a little bit sideways right here. Almost saves it. Just kisses that outside wall. Parker Klugman does an incredible job to avoid him.
He was down in turn 1 and 2, had the same thing happen. Got sideways, and this time it got all the way away from him. Heard Austin say that possibly he had a tire going down because he was that loose. That wouldn't be too hard to believe because we've never seen, we haven't seen Austin make very many mistakes at all in his young career, leading the points. Possibly he had a tire flat.
Another look. Again, that's coming out of turn 4.
What about Parker Kligerman? He's
incredible job.
The world's ending right in front of me. He actually made some contact with the outside wall. Let's go inside of Austin's truck and listen to the gas.
You could hear him back off the throttle just as that back end kicked out a little bit.
Looks for Pappas. Pappas goes into the wall.
Right front straightaway. Cautious out.
Max Pappas, a lot of damage to the front end of that race truck.
Coming off turn 4, you see the 66 of Max Gresham to the outside. Is Max going to squeeze up? Oh, Gresham gets a little bit sideways and then comes down into Max.
Yeah, there was...
Max maybe looked like he was coming up as well.
He makes a 3 wide coming out of 4. He'll take the lead.
What did I ask you, Michael?
That if Hornaday would lead.
Oh, and around goes the 4 of Ricky Carmichael. He's going to slide back up into the field. Catches Cale Gale. Brian Eichler in mix.
Miguel Paludo, the 7, is in the middle of that with a lot of damage.
Man, those guys just had a terrible front straightaway. Hornaday went high. There was plenty of room for Carmichael to run the middle of the road. He got down there with Johnny Sauter, laying on Sauter, and by the time they got to turn 1, excuse me, this was the result.
They're 3 wide there for second, and there was the contact.
Looked like Johnny Sauter came up a little bit. Ricky Carmichael was halfway in the middle of that 3 wide battle. Wow. Look at the damage there when Brian Eichler makes contact with Ricky, and Miguel Paludo also with nowhere to go. He was right behind Eichler.
Did you see how far that 18 truck went up under?
Just about to the windshield.
Yes, sir.
Of the 18 truck.
You can see there, Johnny Sauter angled him, made himself an angle for the turn, and Ricky Carmichael happened to be up above him, making contact and sending Ricky at about 175 miles an hour, spinning down toward turn 1 and all that oncoming traffic. Look at the front of that truck, totally devastated.
The 39 of Ryan Sieg looked like he got run into from behind. He also spun around. There's the initial contact between the 13 and the 4. Now Ricky is along for the ride, trying to hold the brakes to keep that truck down on the bottom of the racetrack. No way he could do it.
Phil, the other view that we had from behind looked as though it was David Starr that was on the outside of the 4, and they made contact. Well, we saw the 13 coming up, and that's what Ricky Carmichael looked like he was trying to avoid.
There wasn't any room for Ricky Carmichael right there. As the problem, Johnny Sauter looked like he came up, as Michael said, to get a good angle into the corner, and there wasn't any room for Ricky.
The whole front straightaway, it wasn't sanitary. They were making different lines and different angles. Maybe Johnny Sauter thought he should have some more room off Ricky.
Let's ride along with the Monster Energy truck of Ricky Carmichael. There's Starr going by on the outside, and there's the contact.
Here comes the contact.
Oh,
again.
Wow.
Oh, and into the infield. Max Gresham in the 66 and the 73 of Brent Raymer goes sideways. Raymer in the grass, Gresham back up on the racetrack.
Michael, you called it. With these hot conditions here, we haven't had a day race here in several years. Never on this newer surface, the reconfigured surface. We've had a lot of attrition. Raymer gets a little bit loose. Max really with nowhere to go was right behind him, and he's just going to carry each other right into the infield here.
Another couple of trucks.
Whoa, look at Max get airborne.
Across that quarter-mile racetrack right in the infield here.
Another couple of trucks that were ahead of Austin Dillon. He's just going to keep creeping up toward that top 20, like you said.
There's Austin. He's going to have a good look at this. You see the 73 of Brett Raymer get sideways. See Austin way off the gas here. Now he sees him down in the grass. He's going to get back in the throttle and get by just in case they may slide back up the racetrack.
Ricky Carmichael's view.
Watch these trucks jump through the infield. Wow.
Ricky's like, don't come up the racetrack. I've already experienced that today.
You could hear Ricky get in the brakes hard and actually lock the rear wheels up. There's another view. The 73 of Brett Raymer gets sideways.
Watch these trucks hit the infield track and how much they leave the ground. Just some good old boys.
All 4 tires off the ground. He cleared the rest of that quarter-mile track.
Ain't no making no noise.
Problems behind Hornaday. Blake Feast in the 32.
Is that James Busher?
In the 32. James Busher in the 31.
Oh, yeah, Blake just gets loose right in front of James. James absolutely nowhere to go. Gets pinned up against the outside wall.
We talked earlier that James just didn't seem to have the truck to run toward the front with, running back there in 14th or 15th. Another truck spins around in front of him and he's in trouble.
Gets
so
caught
it's unlucky, but it's also about performance. He just hadn't had the truck to get to the front with today.
And we thought that our points battle was tight coming into this race, where there was only 3 points that separated the top 2. Well, now enter 4 and 5 in this points battle. So now you've got 5 guys that are all running within 35 points of each other.
Back on lap number 52, so 7 laps. Joey Coulter, just as you said, Michael.
Yeah, more than just that tire going down. He's got some suspension damage, that 22 back into the wall. That brings the caution out for the 7th time today.
Yeah, you called it exactly, Michael. Yeah, normally when you get into the wall as hard as Joey did earlier, you have some pretty significant damage. They didn't spend a great deal of time on pit road, so he goes down in the corner and looks like maybe something cut that right front tire again. Right in front of Brendan Gaughan. Brendan, one of those, close your eyes and maybe he'll be gone when you get there. Nice job by Brendan.
Take another look. Brendan Gaughan just behind that 22. Just slid up the racetrack and into the wall. 7 cautions, 60 laps into this race. Still over 10 laps away from halfway.
He pulled, trouble.
Right behind our leaders, into the wall, hard contact.
Justin Lofton looked like he might have got clipped and turned into the outside wall. Brendan, right in front of Cale Gale.
Cale Gale gets caught up in this.
Holy cow.
9th caution comes out, debris all over the racetrack.
Cale just truck looks just like Brian Eichler's did when he ran into Ricky Carmichael.
They're going to have a hard time getting Ron out of that 2 truck. They better put a 2 on that truck if they want him to drive it.
Wow, Cale looked like he was at full speed when Justin came back up the racetrack. Justin could not control his truck down on the bottom.
Cale did an amazing job missing the wreck earlier.
See Justin Lofton now, he's side by side with Brendan Gaughan. Didn't leave Brendan enough room on the outside. They made contact, turned Justin into the wall.
Now look how far behind.
Well, look all the damage though the 6 of Justin Lofton has. He gets down to the apron here.
And he just, Cale Gale didn't expect Justin not to be able to turn. Obviously the truck was tore all to pieces. It just went straight when he got to the corner. Cale did not understand that that's what was going to happen.
Yeah, and we haven't talked enough about the 62 here, Brendan Gaughan. He's on the outside. He gets caught up and slams into the wall.
Yeah, Brendan was all up against the wall as far as he could go. Justin, I think, may have just lost the front end, got into Brendan, then it turned him into the outside wall.
They've been tight, they've even been underpowered, but he just keeps hanging in there. And talk about taking advantage of opportunities. He came into this race 2nd in Rookie of the Year standings.
Jason White and Jennifer Jo Cobb into the wall, bringing out our 10th caution here at Las Vegas.
Now, how the heck did that happen?
Take a look at what happened. We'll follow Jason White.
Look at the right. Was that rubber from the right front tire that just came off?
Yeah, Jason would have been wise to get to pit road right there.
And how smart is that of Austin Dillon? He saw that something was going to happen, didn't want to be on the outside of that 23, so slowed up, went to the inside.
We thought it was an engine problem. It's not an engine problem. He's going to get down to the corner. It's not going to turn. Jennifer's going around the outside. That's a situation where if she would have looked ahead and maybe saw the smoke from the right front, that may have been a deal where don't go on the outside, just like Austin didn't want to do that.
So the 10th caution has come out. The record for cautions here is 12. That was back in 2008. We don't want to break that record today.
Yeah, you always know that the best thing to do is to go low because that truck's not going to turn like it was.
Right along with Brendan Gaughan, Big O Tires 62. This is what he saw.
Did Jason get into the...
David Starr.
That's David Starr smoking in front of him.
Did Jason White make some contact with the outside wall and cut that tire down?
I'm not sure. I didn't see a great deal of damage to the truck before he made contact with Jennifer Jo Cobb.